Okay, I think we're gonna sell a ton of cupcakes. Why? Because cupcakes are hot right now, and because we have a great name.
Cousins Cupcakes.
Boom.
We're going to the top.
All the way. Now, in order to get to the top, we're gonna have to come up with an amazing business model.
I came up with something that I think is going to blow your mind.
And I can't wait to see it.
Can I show you?
Please
Can I
do.
show you? Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce to you for the first time the Cousins Cupcakes business model, Shelly.
For goodness, Kate, come to Cousins Cupcakes.
No. What is this? What is this?
What are you doing? Last week you said we needed a business model.
Not a business model.
Well, what then?
I'm talking about a business model.
Oh.
Come on, man.
Get ready to enter the Thrive Time Show.
We started from the bottom, now we hit. We started from the bottom, and we'll show you how to get here. We started from the bottom, now we hit. We started from the bottom, now we hit.
We started from the bottom, now we're on the top. Teaching you the systems to get what we got. Colton Dixon's on the hooks, I break down the books. Z's bringing some wisdom and the good looks. As the father of five, that's why I'm alive. So if you see my wife and kids, please tell them hi. It's the C&Z up on your radio. And now 3, 2, 1, here we go.
We started from the bottom, now we hit. We started from the
Well, Thrive Nation, on today's show, we're going to talk about setting smart goals with no relationship at all to smart TV, smart technology, any of the nefarious technology that may be used as a surveillance technology of the CCP. That's not what we're talking about. What we're talking about is setting smart goals, specific, measurable, actionable, realistic, and time sensitive. And so what I want to do is I want to introduce you to a client we've worked with for years who's having specific, massive success. Then on part 2 of today's show, I'm going to introduce you to another client that's having specific, massive success. Then on part 3 of today's show, I'm going to introduce you to another client that's having a lot of success. And these are all people in different industries. The first industry you're going to hear about today is an industry where they help businesses evaluate their company to determine what they're worth. The second industry you're going to hear is a guy by the name of Ronnie Morales, and he does home remodeling, home updating, that sort of thing, based in Texas. And then the third person you're going to hear from is a fitness gym located in Texas, Missouri, and throughout the United States. So you're going to hear 3 different entrepreneurs having success. And I want you to listen to the common traits you're going to hear, because success is just around the corner if you're willing to put in the work here. Ryan, welcome on to the Thrive Time Show. How are you, sir?
Oh, I'm having a lovely morning.
Now, I'm going to throw out some specific softballs that are, to you, obvious at this point. But I think for a lot of listeners out there, there's so many self-help books, so many self-help podcasts, so many good ideas that people then tend to get stuck in a dystopian 360-degree life change process where they get excited, they get motivated, they make a change, and they end up going exactly the same way they were always going. So I'm going to talk about my podcast and then get your wisdom on this. So my podcast, every week I put out podcasts. Could you explain to me specifically, as we go through these smart goals, why do I specifically put out podcasts every week?
It comes down to consistency. So if you plan it out and you know when you're going to release a podcast, you're going to do it. So being consistent and being specific about the goal and how many podcasts you want to put out is important.
Now, what are things that you do every single week at your company, Peak Business Valuation, that are key revenue producing activities? Because in my world, I do a podcast, podcasts, plural. I was just talking to a person this morning. It's kind of crazy. And they said, how many podcasts do you do per week? And I said, I average 8 a day. And they said, you do 8 podcasts a day? I said, well, I'm on 5 shows a day and I'll record 3 of my own a day. And there's some times where I'll do more than that, but it's just 8 is my average. Their mind was blown. And I was like, well, if you were a pro athlete, it wouldn't be mind boggling if you spent 8 hours a day working on your craft. I spend 8 hours a day teaching entrepreneurship, teaching success. What are some of the key revenue producing activities that you have to specifically do every day?
Yeah. So the first portion of my day, I spend the first 4 hours just reviewing projects that are going to go out to clients, making sure I understand every kind of question that might be addressed. And beyond that, when it comes down to sales, I have a goal of reaching out to about 2 to 5 individuals per day and seeing how I can better help them, even if it is just free advice. So those are my goals for the morning and the day with sales.
So again, diligence is the difference maker. If you're stuck today and you want to get unstuck, you've got to think about your goals and break it down into those 5 categories. Is it specific, measurable, actionable, realistic, and time sensitive? So again, a podcast isn't the only thing that I do. I also make sure that we gather an objective Google review from an actual client and or listener. That's something we constantly do. Every single day we do this. We also reach out to shows where there's certain people we want to have on our show as guests and certain shows that I would like to appear on. It's every day I'm focused on these key repeatable actionable processes, these core repeatable actionable processes. Every week my online ads never turn off. I keep my online ads on every single week. Every single week I do it. Every single week, I don't stop. I keep the ads on. For people out there that don't know, I spend almost $1,000 every single week on online ads promoting our conferences, and I've done so since 2005. Every single week, I do this. Every single week, I'm putting out podcasts. Every single week, I'm gathering Google reviews. Every single week, step number 2, I measure. You have to measure the results. I'd love to get your thoughts on this because I can tell our listeners as a statement of fact, we have millions of people that download our show each and every month, but I can't tell you is how many people download each show, because you go to rumble.com and you'll see that some of my shows will have 500,000 views. Some have 50,000 views. Some have 1,000 views. And I can't control that, but what I can control is the consistency. Talk about measuring. Why do you have to measure every single week, even though the results might not be awesome, and sometimes they are awesome? Talk about measuring those results.
Yeah. So when it comes down to measuring, the easiest way for us to track it is when it comes down to sales and the leads of where those individuals are coming from. So those lead sources. So Google is one of our primary, and it comes down to articles. So my wife and her team love writing articles as to how to value a electrician contracting company. And every morning when I'm working out, I will open up Google Analytics and assess how each of those articles in the top 100 are ranking and why, how many views they're getting, and seeing kind of lead conversion and how people are kind of funneling through Google Analytics, clicking on Google Ads. And that's how I measure. And it takes me 30 minutes every morning. And then I check in with my wife and tell her, hey, we should write more articles related to this topic because we're getting 500 leads per month or 500 kind of views per month, 10 leads. If we double that, we get 20 leads and our conversion at 30%, like will double. So let's do it. And she's like, okay, let's do it. So that's how I measure.
You know, today I'm going to be having a pool party for my kids. They're having a pool party, kind of an end of the year party with their school group. And we're going to have the mariachis. They're going to show up here. It's very important. You can't have an end of the year party without the mariachis. You got to have, that's a pro tip. The mariachis, they're going to show up. It's also, we're going to have Mexican food delivered to kind of get that theme going. We're going to have a snow cone stand going. And we're going to have a lot of things going, and it's going to be a lot of fun. And it's going to be a party that the kids are going to enjoy, and it's going to happen today. But also, I'm going to do this podcast with you. I'm going to be on this 9 shows today that I'm doing between this broadcast with you and the other shows I'm on. But again, I'm going to have this party, and I'm going to pull up the agenda so people can see it. This is the party. We're going to have the party. The party starts at 4:15. Mariachis are going to arrive poolside. Why? Because you got to have poolside mariachis. Next is the guests are going to arrive. We're going to serve Mexican food at 4:45. Why? Because it's on the schedule. 5, we're going to have a waterfall maximum splash contest. 5:30, we're going to have a speed swimming relay race contest. 6, we're going to have a basketball tournament. 6:30, hot tub musical chairs. 7 o'clock, Josh's snow cone delivers. 8 o'clock, we're having a s'more fire pit thing. All this is happening today. And I'm also doing this show with you. And all this is happening, and it's very specific. Specific things are happening at specific times. It's measurable. It's actionable. Why, when I make an agenda for a party, an agenda for a client, an agenda for one of my businesses, Ryan, why does it have to be actionable? Why can't I just put on my to-do list like research fun ideas to make a fun party? Why do I have to actually make a specific, actionable plan? Because I think that's where a lot of people get stuck, because college by and large is the studying of things that are not actionable. I'd love to get your thoughts on step 3 here, making sure we set actionable goals.
Yeah. So at least in my life, if I don't put down, this is how I'm going to do it, X, Y, Z, then I'm not going to get to it no matter if I write it down on my to-do list. I need to know, okay, step 1, if I'm going to update or edit any article, I need to understand what is my key word. Like, what am I writing about? What do I want the reader to get out of it? And I just need a list, and it has to be actionable on my part so that I can follow the plan. And kind of going back to something measurable, like those action steps I can measure and just check off, okay, did it. And then I know I have a finished product.
This is absolutely powerful, folks. I'm going to pull this up so you can see the power of this, okay? So the client you're going to see on today's show, on part 2 of today's show, you're going to hear about Morales Brothers. And this guy, true story, I'm not exaggerating. There's no exaggeration, no puffery, folks. No, you deserve only the facts. This guy he did $500,000 of business this week. Now, you understand when I take on a lot of contractors, they might be doing like $1 million a year when they reach out to me. They'll go to thrivetimeshow.com and they'll schedule a consultation. This happens just like this guy. You know, this guy had listened to our show, Ryan, for 7 consecutive years before he reached out. 7 consecutive years listening to our show before he'd reached out.
Nice.
Yeah. And he reached out. I think he'd gone to the testimonials button. And by the way, he is now a success story. He is. I think he's there he is. There he is. All right. And so, you know, this is powerful. Also, if you go to Peak Business Valuation, at one point you reached out, but it's the consistency with, I can't emotionalize whether I get a lead or not, or a good fit or not. I want people to know, just very candidly, we have almost 10 people on a given day that will reach out for business consulting. And Ryan, I don't want to depress anybody, but usually only one of those 10 might be a good fit. And you know why? Because the kind of people that are willing to put in the diligence are the people that we can help. The people that are willing to put in the consistent effort, we can help. And those that aren't, we can't help them. It's not getting rich is not a one-step action step. It's a process that you do over and over. It's like planting a garden. You have to keep pulling the weeds every single week, folks. It's like planting a garden. It's like raising a kid. It's an ongoing process. It's like washing your clothes. It's like haircuts. It's not a one-time event. And so moralesbrothers.net, and then also you're going to hear more about colawfitness.com. These are real clients that have actually achieved massive success because they've actually put in the work. And so we go back to this again. What are SMART goals? I pull it up here. What are they? Well, they're specific, measurable, actionable, realistic. Woo! I know we just lost somebody there. We didn't lose any of our listeners, but we lost, maybe one of our listeners shared this with a friend of theirs. Can you talk to me about realistic? Because at Peak Business Valuation, I mean, you help people evaluate their company. And sometimes when you start talking about being realistic, some people aren't too happy.
Yeah. So when it comes down to realistic goals, like I'll just use Peak as an example and just use revenue, because that's one of the main goals that I set at the beginning of each year. And my actual versus budgeted is always off by 100,000. And I always want to assess it from a realistic perspective, but I have stretch goals. And one of those realistic stretch goals that I had down was to get a client that was going to pay over $20,000 for a business valuation. And that ironically happened last week. And I knew I could do it, just didn't know how to do it. And then I figured out, okay, gift and estate planning business valuations, this is how much I could charge based on the size of the company. This is how long it's going to take. And so I just kept fishing for the right partnership and found an attorney that wanted to work with me. And that opportunity came up. And I realistic goals are important because you need to understand yourself and your company's capacity to hit those targets. But realistic goals should also have components where you can stretch them a little bit and they're still conservative and realistic, but you can still hit that target.
And again, I agree with everything you just said. And I just encourage people. I mean, you have to think about your goals right now, folks. Whatever your goals are for your family, for your daughter's into your birthday party, for your daughter's into your pool party, for your wedding, for your book you want to write, for your fitness goals, for your faith goals, family, fitness, friendship, fun, whatever your goals are, you have to set SMART goals: specific, measurable, actionable, realistic. And the final thing is time sensitive. And so people always say to me, Clay, you always seem like you got shot out of a cannon. What's your deal? Are you always like this? I go, yeah. They say, yeah, what do you mean you're always like this? I am. They go, no, you're not. And people, that's when the kind of the disbelief sets in. I'm gonna see if I can pull up my to-do list. They always go, "There's no way." I go, "It is a way." And they go, "It's not a way. What you're doing, you are bogus because you are not like that every day." And then people who are here, they go, "This is what we deal with every single day," because I set up my life in a way that I am very intentional every single day about what I'm doing. So I'm going to pull up some examples here, and hopefully this is helpful for somebody to look at this. Okay, so for my goals today, I got to get a hold of Eric because I'm going to stream a Trump rally today through our platforms. Next, I want to submit a client's website, resubmit it to the Google search engines. So I'm going to put this right here, put a little meat on that action item. Ooh. Okay. Then I have a documentary. I'm updating the link. A lot of people go to timetofreeamerica.com to watch a documentary about what I'm doing right now. And when they go there, I feel like the way in which you download the documentary could be less clunky. And so I want it to be less clunky. It's free to download. And so many people say, dude, this documentary like changed my life. It was awesome, but it was kind of hard to get. So I've been really trying to make that easier. So I should be done refining that this week here. Also, when people request a ticket to one of our conferences, I want them to receive an autoresponder email that's a little bit tighter. I got to print the party schedule because my daughter's party, it's going to be hot. It's going to be awesome. It's gonna be incredible. I love planning parties. Then the Mexican food, I got to get that ordered. I got to move an interview today from 3:30 to 2:30. I've got to download Photoshop onto one of my clients' computers, kind of remotely teach them how to do that. I got to talk to one of my clients about blocking out time for something. I've got to, I got to determine a payout for a client of mine who writes books, and I need to get her compensated for that because she sold a lot of books. I need to book somebody on the show. Allison, I need to tell her good job because she got 23 reviews. One of the things we do is we call clients on. We have a team that will call the customers of our clients to survey their customers to make sure they're happy and to ask them for objective reviews. And Allison got 23 reviews in 6.5 hours, which is incredibly not normal. And the calls were recorded and I heard them and they sound phenomenal. I also need to sign a contract for an updated venue. I need to call Brian about podcasts for uploading for him. And you can see there's a lot on the list and I will get it done. Why? Because I've taken the time to organize my day. And you say, well, what time did you get to work? 3. That's why I got to work today. I'm not saying it's a good thing. I'm just saying it's my thing. And it's what I did. So it's what I'm doing. I don't know that it's something that everybody else out there would want this life. I like it. But again, I go to bed at 9, I wake up at 3, and I do it every single day. Well, going back to you with your company here, and then kind of closing thoughts here, your company is called Peak Business Valuation, and you guys have had a lot of success. How long have we worked with you now total for anybody who's just hearing this?
Since May of 2020.
And how much growth have you had from May of 2020 to now we're in 2023, almost August?
So I need to relook at it because we're just killing it the last month. We're 100% over last year. So we're up at least 232% from a revenue perspective based on last month. And profit wise, we're up around like 318, 19%. But
all these clients I work with, they have massive success if they're diligent, and that's what you are. So I highly endorse what you do. I recommend what you do. I think you do it the best. Can you tell the listeners out there, what kind of services do you provide, Ryan, there at peakbusinessvaluation.com?
So we help individuals understand the value of a business, whether they are looking to buy a business, sell a business, do gifting or estate planning. That is what we do. We simply help you understand the value of that company for that reason.
So if anybody wants to schedule a free consultation with you today, they just go to peakbusinessvaluation.com. Is that the plan, or is there a preferred method?
Yeah. So go to peakbusinessvaluation.com. right-hand side top, there is a contact us where you can fill out a form, or you could simply just give us a call at 435-359-2684. And either myself or my assistant, Jill, will answer that phone and we'll schedule a call with you.
And again, that phone number is 435-359-2684. And now, Thrive Nation, we're going to queue up the Ronnie Morales success story and the Charles Kolaw success story. Thank you for carving out time for us there, sir. We'll talk to you next week. That's Ryan Hutchins with peakbusinessvaluation.com. Take care, sir.
See you, Clay.
Yeah, bye. Well, Thrive Nation, we have an opportunity all the time. We have so many wonderful people that go to thrivetimeshow.com and they reach out to us to schedule a 13-point assessment. We also have a lot of people that go to thrivetimeshow.com and they schedule a free 13-point assessment, and they're not a good fit because I only work with diligent doers. I only work with people that are willing to actually implement the proven systems that Dr. Zellner and I both teach and implement in our own companies. So people say, I do want to grow my business 7 times faster. I do want to reduce my working hours. I do want to increase my time freedom and my profits. I think we're all in agreement that that's a good thing. However, we can only help people that are willing to put the work in. And on today's show, we're joined by a man by the name of Ronnie Morales. His company is moralesbrothers.net. I hold him in high regard because he and his family-owned business, they actually are growing. I would call it dramatically. When you look at this, Inc. magazine right now shows that 96% of businesses fail. Inc. magazine says 96% of businesses fail. That's not good. Whereas this guy's business isn't growing by 10%. It isn't growing by 20%. It is growing dramatically. But again, if Ronnie Morales had filled out the form and had scheduled a consultation and wasn't willing to actually implement what we were teaching, it would all be for naught. So I'm excited for you to meet somebody who I would consider to be a diligent doer. He's based in Richmond, Texas. And without any further ado, Ronnie Morales, welcome onto the Thrive Time Show. How are you, sir?
Hey, I'm doing great. Thanks, Clay.
Hey, so how did you first hear about us? How did you hear about the Thrive Time Show?
I listened to your Thrive Time Show podcast for those 7 years, and I was learning so much. I was like, man, I got to give this guy a try.
So you listened to our podcast 7 years ago?
Yeah.
Really?
7 years.
Do you remember the first podcast you listened to 7 years ago?
I don't remember. I listened to so many of them.
Okay.
I listened to, more than once.
Now, when you're listening to the podcast, I try to feature clients on the show so that there's real people really doing it, really implementing the systems. When did it occur to you that you might want to, go ahead and fill out the form at thrivetimeshow.com and schedule a consultation?
I got to the point where I just needed to take the next step. And I've been in coaching before, like group coaching and different things like that. But I just felt like everybody on your show was making tremendous changes in their business. And coming from you and Dr. Z, I felt like y'all had the experience. It didn't matter if it was, because I've been used to doing construction, like peer groups and construction coaching, where it's contractors only. Well, I felt like, you know what? I need somebody business minded to help me grow this. I don't necessarily need a group of just contractors. I needed somebody that knows the business part of it.
And what kind of growth have you had since you began working with us as far as a percentage? Do you know a percentage or what kind of growth?
Yeah, so we had about a 57% increase from last year's first quarter to this year's first quarter. So that was huge for us. And personal growth too. I honestly, just as a business leader and team member here in my company, I've grown a lot to be a better leader, learn how to delegate better, learn how to get these 15-minute huddles started every morning. And it's just been great. I'm just continue to learn, and I can't wait to keep moving forward.
Well, people always ask me, they say, what's the most important part of business consulting? And that would be, to me, like asking a baker, what's the most important ingredient in a cookie? I mean, is it the flour? Is it the sugar? Is it the eggs? I would say if you take out any one of those core ingredients, you're going to have a weird tasting cookie. So in our business consulting, we focus on marketing, branding, sales, hiring, leadership, management, accounting, all of those things. So let's kind of go through the process from just a branding perspective and a marketing perspective. How has the business consulting impacted your company?
No, it's been great. The branding, the marketing. People around town are telling us, hey, I've seen your trucks here and there. I see you all over the place. When people are searching Google or whatever it is, they're finding our videos and they're reaching out to us. I think one of the biggest parts with business coaching for me has been the accountability. Like just having somebody to tell me like, hey, get this, and this done, and have it done by this day, and we move on to the next step. So it's been great.
Now we have a weekly meeting. The purpose of a weekly meeting is so that you have a week to get your homework done. We have a week to do our homework. I mean, we do photography, videography, web development, search engine optimization, and you and I meet on Saturdays at 6:30 a.m. I find a lot of my clients like to meet in the mornings. How important is it to have that weekly meeting? Because I'm 42, but when I was 21, I was hiring business consulting programs that would do quarterly meetings or oftentimes even monthly meetings. And I found that nothing got done. How important is it for you to have a weekly meeting?
I think it's very important as a business owner to have that weekly accountability to make sure you're staying on schedule. Because as a business owner, you wear so many hats. It makes it difficult to get the important things done that you need to get done, but that you want to put on the back burner. But when you have somebody to be accountable to, and it's a weekly thing, and they're steadily putting in your ear, like you got to get these things done. Get the reviews. Get the video testimonials. It just makes it to where, you have an assignment and they just get it done.
Now, at the business conferences, we walk people through the entire system. This is the system we teach from. This is from my newest book called A Millionaire's Guide to Becoming Sustainably Rich, which everyone can download for free right now at thrivetimeshow.com/millionaire. You and I, we track the numbers every week. So box number 1, we establish those revenue goals. We do that. We know the break-even numbers. We know how many hours you're willing to work. This is crazy. You're married. Your wife loves you. You love your wife. I'm not ever advocating during our coaching meetings like forsake your family and grow your company. Can you talk about that, how important it is to work with maybe a coach that understands that you want to have a healthy family and a healthy company?
Oh, I think it's very important. Like yesterday I had a good dinner with my wife, and we had a good evening with live music and really enjoyed each other's company. I took my kids camping twice this month already for 4 days, and we're enjoying the summer. But I think it's very important that as a business owner, as you put the hours in, put the hard work in, but you also take the time to spend with friends and family. It's important. Rising up early to get in my meditation time is very important to me too. So I think just again having somebody that knows the value of these things is important.
Now, as we go through, I mean, you are knocking it out with the marketing and the branding and all the things we have to do to optimize your website and make the ads work. We've determined your unique value proposition. We've improved the branding. We have a 3-legged marketing stool. We know how to generate leads online and offline and referrals. The sales process, and I'm not picking on you, but I mean this, you're like a super humble guy. So I feel like that the sales process was something that once you learned the proven process, you kind of took to it right away. But I think a lot of contractors don't want to come across as too aggressive or too passive or too whatever. And I feel like the sales process of your team really doing a good job of calling all the leads and the calls are recorded for quality assurance. I feel like that's been a big needle mover for you. Maybe I'm wrong. I'd love to get your thoughts on that.
Yeah, no, it's been great. I had my own way before I joined your team. I had my own way of sales, and what I thought was working really wasn't working. And at first I put up a wall, but once I was opened up to the why you do it the certain ways you do it, it really opened up more ways to be more successful. With the call scripts, with the recorded calls, we're still tweaking scripts and things like that, but it's like an ongoing process. But it's been great, and I think that it has helped us a lot. We call our leads back right away, within hours, a few hours, most of the time. And it's just important. And we've gotten a lot of leads, and where I needed to hire my first sales employee.
And now we're working on more of the systems, creating these repeatable systems and managing a larger group of people in that daily huddle. Can you talk? I hammer all my clients that it's so important to have a daily huddle with your team, to huddle with your team every morning and to have a weekly staff meeting. Could you talk about the importance of implementing these human resource strategies for managing people and what impact that's had for your company?
Yeah, so the impact of daily huddles have for my company is that they brought the team together. All of our employees, which is 17 of us full time, it's brought us all together to where we get to see each other in the mornings and grow together. We start off with some wins, keep it brief. We go over company updates, then we go over all our projects, and we ask like, how's that client doing? Is the project on schedule? But what it did, it helped us a lot with the daily interruptions with, hey, so what's going on here? And these questions that could be answered in the morning. So they learn to answer these important questions in the morning so that there's less interruption throughout the day.
Now, the final two areas I wanted to cover here is, there's so much to growing a company, and that's what we talk about on our weekly coaching calls. But building a sustainable and repetitive weekly schedule, like every week we're doing the group interview. Every week we're gathering objective reviews from clients. Every week we're gathering before and after images. Every week you're gathering testimonials from your happy clients. You have to do this stuff every week. It's like a garden. You got to pull the weeds every week. Could you talk about the importance of having these human resource systems in place where you do these systems every week so it's, proactive as opposed to reactive, doing these same things over and over?
Yeah, I think it's important to do it every week and repeat them so that things don't fall through the cracks. And if you get too relaxed on not doing it, or you go 2 or 3 weeks without listening to recorded calls or whatever it may be, you start to slack off a little bit. The next thing you know, you're in trouble. And now you're putting out another fire that wouldn't have been there if you would have been on track and keeping up with the systems and processes. So just doing it repeatedly helps with building that system. Everybody knows it's this day at this time. Our morning huddles are every day from 7:07, last 15 minutes. And everybody knows to be there. And it's just been great.
Now, final two questions for you. People out there that maybe want to do business with you, they're hearing about you. Again, it's very hard to gather objective Google reviews if people don't like you. It's very hard to gather video testimonials if people don't like the work you do. What's your website, and how do people, go ahead and get a hold of you if they're looking to hire you guys for maybe a big project?
Yeah, so our website is moralesbrothers.net. And you can definitely just fill out our get in touch form to reach out to us. And I personally will actually be in touch with you and have a conversation with you.
And for anybody out there that's contemplating coming to one of our workshops or scheduling a free 13-point assessment, what word of encouragement or what advice would you have for anybody out there?
Well, I would say don't wait any longer. Jump in, because if I would have jumped in 7 years ago, I would have been in a whole different place today. So
I guarantee you would be. I'll say this though, and I'm not prophetic. I'm saying you're on pace. You're on pace to have a business that's going to be about 5 times larger than what it was when I first met you. And I say that because the first thing you see is the leads coming in, and you start to see new teammates joining your team, and you're building that foundation for success. And I totally see you guys going to a great place right now. So I wish I would have met you earlier. That's my only complaint. But that's Ronnie Morales. Ronnie, I really appreciate you. I'll give you the final word. What do you want to say to everybody out there that's maybe contemplating taking their business to the next level?
Like I said, guys, don't wait any longer. Reach out to Clay and the team, do your assessment, and be a diligent doer.
Amen to that. Ronnie Morales, take care, sir. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Bye.
The number of new customers that we've had is up 411% over last year. We are Jared and Jennifer Johnson. We own Platinum Pest and Lawn and are located in Owasso, Oklahoma. And we have been working with Thrive for business coaching for almost a year now.
Yeah. So what we want to do is we want to share some wins with you guys that we've had by working with Thrive. First of all, we're on the top page of Google now. Okay. I just want to let you know what type of accomplishment this is. Our competition, Orkin, Terminex, they're both $1.3 billion companies. They both have 2,000 to 3,000 pages of content attached to their website. So to basically go from virtually non-existent on Google to up on the top page is really saying something. But that's come by being diligent to the systems that Thrive has, by being consistent and diligent on doing podcasts and staying on top of those podcasts to really help with getting up on with their listing and ranking there with Google.
And also we've been trying to get Google reviews, asking our customers for reviews. And now we're the highest rated and most reviewed pest and lawn company in the Tulsa area. And that's really helped with our conversion rate. And the number of new customers that we've had is up 411% over last year.
Wait, say that again. How much are we up?
411%.
Okay, so 411% we're up with our new customers. Amazing.
Right. So not only do we have more customers calling in, we're able to close those deals at a much higher rate than we were before. right now our closing rate is about 85%, and that's largely due to first of all, like our Google reviews that we've gotten people really see that our customers are happy, but also we have a script that we follow. And so when customers call in, they get all the information that they need. That script has been refined time and time again. It wasn't a one and done deal. It was a system that we followed with Thrive in the refining process, and that has obviously the 411% shows that system works.
Yeah, so here's a big one for you. So last week alone, our booking percentage was 91%. We actually booked more deals, more new customers last year than we did the first 5 months, or I'm sorry, we booked more deals last week than we did the first 5 months of last year from before we worked with Thrive. So again, we booked more deals last week than the first 5 months of last year. And it's incredible. But the reason why we have that success is by implementing the systems that Thrive has taught us and helped us out with. So.
Some of those systems that we've implemented are group interviews. That way we've really been able to come up with a really great team. We've created and implemented checklists. That way everything gets done and it gets done right. It creates accountability. We're able to make sure that everything gets done properly, both out in the field and also in our office. And also doing the podcast, like Jared had mentioned, that has really, really contributed to our success. But that, like I said, the diligence and consistency in doing those and that system has really, really been a big blessing in our lives. And also, it's really shown that we've gotten the success from following those systems.
Yeah. So before working with Thrive, we were basically stuck. Really no new growth with our business. And we were in a rut, and we didn't know.
The last 3 years, our customer base had pretty much stayed the same. We weren't shrinking, but we weren't really growing either.
Yeah, and so we didn't really know where to go, what to do, how to get out of this rut that we're in. But Thrive helped us with that. They implemented those systems. That they taught us those systems. They taught us the knowledge that we needed in order to succeed. Now it's been a grind. Absolutely, it's been a grind this last year. But we're getting those fruits from that hard work and the diligent effort that we're able to put into it. So again, we were in a rut. Thrive helped us get out of that rut. And if you're thinking about working with Thrive, quit thinking about it and just do it. Do the action, and you'll get the results. It will take hard work and discipline, but that's what it's going to take in order to really succeed. So we just want to give a big shout out to Thrive, a big thank you out there to Thrive. We wouldn't be where we're at now without their help.
Hi, I'm Dr. Mark Moore. I'm a pediatric dentist. Through our new digital marketing plan, we have seen a marked increase in the number of new patients that we're seeing every month, year over year. 1 month, for example, we went from 110 new patients the previous year to over 180 new patients in the same month. And overall, our average is running about 40 to 42% increase month over month, year over year. The group of people required to implement our new digital marketing plan is immense, starting with a business coach, videographers, photographers, web designers. Back when I graduated dental school in 1985, nobody advertised. The only marketing that was ethically allowed in everybody's eyes was mouth-to-mouth marketing. By choosing to use the services, you're choosing to use a proven turnkey marketing and coaching system that will grow your practice and get you the results that you're looking for. I went to the University of Oklahoma College of Dentistry, graduated in 1983, and then I did my pediatric dental residency at Baylor College of Dentistry from 1983 to 1985.
Hello, my name is Charles Kolaw with Kolaw Fitness. Today I want to tell you a little bit about Clay Clark and how I know Clay Clark. Clay Clark has been my business coach since 2017. He's helped us grow from 2 locations to now 6 locations. We're planning to do 7 locations in 7 years and then franchise. And Clay has done a great job of helping us navigate anything that has to do with like running the business, building the systems, the checklists, the workflows, the audits, how to navigate lease agreements, how to buy property, how to work with brokers and builders. This guy is just amazing. He's this kind of guy has worked in every single industry. He's written books with like Lee Crockrell, head of Disney, with the 40,000 cast members. He's friends with like Mike Lindell. He does Reawaken America tours, where he does these tours all across the country, where 10,000 or more people show up to some of these tours. On the day-to-day, he does anywhere from about 160 companies. He's at the top. He has a team of business coaches, videographers, and graphic designers and web developers, and they run 160 companies every single week. So think of this guy with a team of business coaches running 160 companies. So in the weekly, he's running 160 companies. Every 6 to 8 weeks, he's doing Reawaken America tours. Every 6 to 8 weeks, he's also doing business conferences where 200 people show up, and he teaches people a 13-step proven system that he's done and worked with billionaires, helping them grow their companies. So I've seen guys from startups go from startup to being multimillionaires, teaching people how to get time freedom and financial freedom through the system. Critical thinking, document creation, putting it into organizing everything in their head to building into a franchisable, scalable business. Like one of his businesses has like 500 franchises. That's just one of the companies or brands that he works with. So amazing guy, Elon Musk kind of like smart guy. He kind of comes off sometimes as socially awkward, but he's so brilliant and he's taught me so much. When I say that, like Clay is like, he doesn't care what people think when you're talking to him. He cares about where you're going in your life and where he can get you to go. And that's what I like him most about him. He's like a good coach. A coach isn't just making you feel good all the time. A coach is actually helping you get to the best you. And Clay has been an amazing business coach. Through the course of that, we became friends. I was really most impressed with him is when I was shadowing him one time. We went into a business deal and listened to it. I got to shadow and listen to it. And when we walked out, I knew that he could make millions on the deal. And they were super excited about working with him. And he told me, he's like, I'm not going to touch it. I'm going to turn it down because he knew it was going to harm the common good of people in the long run. And the guy's integrity just really wowed me. It brought tears to my eyes to see that this guy, his highest desire was to do what's right. And anyways, just an amazing man. So anyways, impacted me a lot. He's helped navigate anytime I've got nervous or worried about how to run the company or, navigating competition and an economy that's like, I remember we got closed down for 3 months. He helped us navigate on how to stay open, how to get back open, how to just survive through all the COVID shutdowns, lockdowns.
I'm Rachel with Tip Top Canine, and we just want to give a huge thank you to Clay and Vanessa Clark.
Hey guys, I'm Ryan with Tip Top Canine. Just want to say a big thank you to Thrive 15. Thank you to Make Your Life Epic. We love you guys, we appreciate you, and really just appreciate how far you've taken us. This is our old house, right? This is where we used to live a few years ago. This is our old neighborhood. See, it's nice, right? So this is my old van and our old school marketing, and this is our old team. And by team, I mean it's me and another guy.
This is our new house with our new neighborhood. This is our new van with our new marketing, and this is our new team. We went from 4 to 14, and I took this beautiful photo. We worked with several different business coaches in the past, and they were all about helping Ryan sell better and just teaching sales, which is awesome, but Ryan is a really great salesman. So we didn't need that. We needed somebody to help us get everything that was in his head out into systems, into manuals and scripts, and actually build a team. So now that we have systems in place, we've gone from 1 to 10 locations in only a year.
In October 2016, we grossed 13 grand for the whole month. Right now it's 2018, the month of October. It's only the 22nd. We've already grossed a little over 50 grand for the whole month, and we still have time to go. We're just thankful for you, thankful for Thrive and your mentorship, and we're really thankful that you guys have helped us to grow a business that we run now instead of the business running us. Just thank you times 1,000.
The Thrive Time Show 2-day interactive business workshops are the highest and most reviewed business workshops on the planet.
You can learn the proven 13-point business systems that Dr. Zellner and I have used over and over to start and grow successful companies. I mean, we get into the specific steps on what you need to do to optimize your website. We're going to teach you how to fix your conversion rate. We're going to teach you how to do a social media marketing campaign that works. How do you raise capital? How do you get a small business loan? We teach you everything you need to know here during a 2-day, 15-hour workshop. It's all here for you. You work every day in your business, but for 2 days you can escape and work on your business and build these proven systems so now you can have a successful company that will produce both the time freedom and the financial freedom that you deserve. You're going to leave energized, motivated, but you're also going to leave empowered. The reason why I've built these workshops is because as an entrepreneur, I always wish that I had this. And because there wasn't anything like this, I would go to these motivational seminars, no money down, real estate, Ponzi scheme, get motivated seminars, and they would never teach me anything. It was like you went there and you paid for the big chocolate Easter bunny, but inside of it, it was a hollow nothingness. And I wanted the knowledge, and they're like, oh, but we'll teach you the knowledge after our next workshop. And the great thing is we have nothing to upsell. At every workshop, we teach you what you need to know. There's no one in the back of the room trying to sell you some next big get-rich-quick, walk-on-hot coals product. It's literally, we teach you the brass tacks, the specific stuff that you need to know to learn how to start and grow a business. And I encourage you to not believe what I'm saying, and I want you to Google the Z66 auto auction. I want you to Google elephant in the room. Look at Robert Zellner and Associates. Look them up and say, are they successful because they're geniuses, or are they successful because they have a proven system? When you do that research, you will discover that the same systems that we use in our own business can be used in your business. Come to Tulsa, book a ticket, and I guarantee you it's going to be the best business workshop ever, and we'll even give you your money back if you don't love it. We've built this facility for you, and we're excited to see you.
Hey, I'm Ryan Wimpy with Tip Top Canine, and I'm the founder.
I'm Rachel Wimpy, and I am a co-founder.
So we've been running Tip Top for about the last 14 years, franchising for the last 3-4 years. So someone that'd be a good fit for Tip Top loves dogs, they're high energy, they want to be able to own their own job, but they don't want to worry about, that high failure rate. They want to do that like bowling with bumper lanes.
So you give us a call, reach out to us, we'll call you, and then we'll send you an FDD, look over that, read it, fall asleep to it, it's very boring, and then we'll book a discovery day, and you come and you can spend a day or two with us to make sure that you actually like it, make sure your training dogs is something that you want to do.
So an FDD is a franchise disclosure document. It's a federally regulated document that goes into all the nitty-gritty details of what the franchise agreement entails.
So who would be a good fit to buy a Tip Top Canine would be somebody who loves dogs, who wants to work with dogs all day as their profession. You'll make a lot of money, you'll have a lot of fun, it's very rewarding. And who would not be a good fit is a cat person.
So the upfront cost for a Tip Top is $43,000. And a lot of people say they're generating doctor money, but on our disclosure, the numbers are anywhere from over $1 million a year in dog training, what our Oklahoma City location did last year, to 25, 35 grand a month.
To train and get trained by us for Tip Top Canine, to run your own Tip Top Canine, you would be with us for 6 weeks here in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
So we've been married for 7 years.
8 years.
8 years. So if you're watching this video, you're like, hey, maybe I want to be a dog trainer. Hey, that would sound super amazing. Go to our website, tiptopcanine.com, click on the yellow franchising tab, fill out the form, and Rachel and I will give you a call. Our Oklahoma City location last year, they did over $1 million. He's been running that shop for 3 years. Before, he was a youth pastor with 0 sales experience, 0 dog training experience before he ever met with us.
So just call us, come spend a day with us, spend a couple days with us, make sure you like training dogs, and own your own business.
Well, the biggest reason to buy a Tip Top Canine is so you own your own job and you own your own future, and you don't hate your life. You get an enjoyable job that brings a lot of income but is really rewarding.
My name is Seth Flint, and I had originally heard about Tip Top Canine through my old pastors who I worked for. They trained their Great Pyrenees with Ryan and Tip Top Canine. They did a phenomenal job and became really good friends with Ryan and Rachel. I was working at a local church, and it was a great experience. I ended up leaving there and working with Ryan and Tip Top Canine. The biggest thing that I really enjoy about being self-employed is that I can create my own schedule. I have the ability to spend more time with my family, my wife and my daughter. So my very favorite thing about training dogs with Tip Top Canine is that I get to work with the people. Obviously, I love working with dogs, but it's just so rewarding to be able to train a dog that had serious issues, whether it's behavioral or whatever, and seeing a transformation, taking that dog home, and mom and dad are literally in tears because of how happy they are with the training. If somebody is interested, I'd say don't hesitate. Make sure you like dogs. Make sure that you enjoy working with people, because we're not just dog trainers. We are customer service people that help dogs, and so definitely don't hesitate. Just come in and ask questions. Ask all the questions you have.